I love everybody. How toxic positivity plays into the hands of narcissists. Welcome to today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles-Lifecoaching, decade-long recipient of narcissistic abuse, and I've saved myself from it. And I accompany you on your journey to your personal freedom. So today we will settle the score with positivity movements and people who advertise it very well and illustrate how to deal with it, what problems it entails, and what you are actually causing in the realms of harm toward yourself and toward other people should you be someone who engages in toxic positivity. So that said, what is toxic positivity? It is the mindset that positive thinking is the be-all, end-all, the one and only best solution to each and every problem out there. That entails a few very negative factors because it is, on the one hand, overly exaggerated optimism that has no real basis in real life, in reality. It pushes aside other emotions such as anger, fear, sadness. And over time, it also does something very detrimental to the person engaging in toxic positivity, which is hindering the personal learning process from negative experiences. Because as long as you don't engage in dealing with your personal huge variety of emotions, of all of them, when they arise and how they want to be dealt with, if you're selecting some and pushing away the others, the ones that are being pushed away by you will accumulate. And that geyser is bound to erupt at some point. And then you will have to deal with a lot more than you could have portioned beforehand. Now let's look at the following. This will not be a positivity video, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you will not feel good during the course of this video, but it is not my task to lie to you. Some out there are very good at that. This is not my venue. It's not my task to make you feel good. It's my personal task to help you live good. And that entails, to some degree, to look into the mirror and into sometimes negative aspects and negative truths that we need to accept that we've lived by them, as I have. Much of this today applies to my former self, in order to tackle it, dismantle it, dissolve it, and move through and become better by dealing with this problem. And toxic positivity, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem for you and for the people in your surroundings. Now let's say, as the premise of the rest of the video, that you are engaging in a behavior of toxic positivity and that your partner is a narcissist. Now enter you with your possible toxic positivity, ladies and gentlemen. You are engaging in naivety to accept what is. You've tried the same behavior, the same positivity attitude toward your partner for the 6th and for the 7th time, for the 23rd and 24th time, for the 68th and 69th time. They change for a week or for 3 weeks maybe, and they revert back to their real selves. But you've just experienced it. Your positivity yielded that result. Is it though? More on that later. Is that the causation of it? Is it yes or no? We will deal with that later. With your possible toxic positivity, ladies and gentlemen, you're also engaging in willful blindness. And we've had this discussion on this channel a lot of times recently when it comes to the mythological story of Osiris, who ignored, in a state of willful blindness, the malevolence and destructiveness of his brother Seth, or Sutash in the original, and he literally got destroyed by it. So at some point, if you're repeating the same willfully blind, toxically positive attitude without looking at the negative, even your own feelings that are anything but happy, at some point you're engaging in willful blindness. At some point you bear part of the responsibility if you think the universe will settle the score. Why wait for the universe, ladies and gentlemen? Why don't you settle the score? Why wait for the universe and its gift? Why don't you make yourself a gift? What could this be? The gift of your free time, where you can breathe, where you're not being judged, where you're not being devalued. The gift of leaving, maybe, for those of you who can, and I know that not all of you can. The gift of the phases of healing and recharging. There's a certain childlike mindset embedded in toxic positivity. I love everybody, is what those people say. Why? Why, ladies and gentlemen? Why, in case you are among those who engage in toxic positivity, why do you think you love everybody? And do you really? Based on what? Based on which motivation? And the reverse is not becoming the world's biggest egoist. No. But to engage in the Latin word of discrimen, to make a distinction. If you hand out your love, your forgiveness and your empathy without distinction all the time to everyone because you love everyone, you are bound to attract people who will make use of you, who will devalue you, who sometimes even aim at destroying you. And all you would have needed to avoid at least parts of the worst parts are walls, barriers, and a healthy distinction who gets what from you and why. One more thing that comes with your possible toxic positivity is the concept of the illusion of action. The illusion of action coined by Coach Corey Wayne, which I regularly quote here on this channel because it is such a game changer to understand the illusion of action. Because with your possible toxic positivity with regards to your narcissistic partner, you might be thinking, if I only show them enough love, if I only hand over enough forgiveness, if I only display enough empathy, he or she will understand. People with narcissistic personality style did not understand, do not understand, and they will not understand. They are just glad and happy that you're so toxically positive that you don't make any distinction, even with the worst out there. You're just handing it out, and they're just taking. They made a very good deal out of it. Two more things that will be unpleasant to some of you, ladies and gentlemen, but we will have to get through it. Toxic positivity entails your possible personal egoism. Egoism, you ask. How? You're giving and giving and giving. How can this be egotistical? It can in the way that you might perceive yourself as morally superior by giving and giving and giving. Ask yourself, do you feel that way? Do you place yourself on the throne of moral superiority by giving? And if you flip that coin, all the detriments that you suffer, all the invalidation that comes from people who make use of you, has this become part of your identity by now? Are you accustomed to your own victim mentality by now? If the answers are yes, then toxic positivity, in your possible case, is motivated by egoism. Ask yourself this in this regard. Why is it so one-sided when it comes to giving in your relationship? You're giving and giving and giving. The empathy, the love, the forgiveness. Why doesn't he? Why doesn't she? They pull together 1 week or 2 weeks. Then another month of invalidation, micro discards, cheating, whatever, gaslighting. You know the list by now, I don't have to tell you. Where would the two of you be if only the two of you mutually went into the relationship to give? Why are you satisfied with the emotional breadcrumbs of the occasional, authentic, positive behavior towards you? Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. If this is true, if you answered those questions with yes, I am that way, wake up, please, for your own sake and for the sake of your surroundings. Which leads us to how toxic positivity, if that is your modus operandi, actually is detrimental to your social surroundings. If you only talk about positive things and ignore the negative, put the lid on it and live in exaggerated optimism, just don't look at the negative things. You're also not tolerating the negative, or what you perceive as negative, what other people try to tell you. Maybe they're having a very difficult time in their relationship. Maybe something in their lives is really going south right now. Is it because they displayed a lack of positivity? And is that why they shouldn't talk about this with you at this time? This leads to a lack of depths when talking to you, in the case, ladies and gentlemen, that you were to engage in toxic positivity. And over time, that in turn leads to people not trusting you. People no longer engaging with you in deep talk. Because they've learned by now from your toxic positivity that you can only talk about when things are yay, but not when they're nay. We will go to town with positivity marketing and positivity coaches before we come to the conclusion of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Positivity marketing aims at but a single thing: consume next product. You're lazy, no problem. Here's an app for this. You don't even need to move. You're grossly overweight, no problem. You're beautiful. Here's something that you can hang over yourself, that you can drape over your body. I wasn't handsome and beautiful, or whatever you might call it, when I don't even claim I'm right now, but I certainly wasn't when I had 16, 17, or I don't recall, maybe even 18 kilograms more 3 years ago. But there was positivity marketing trying to sell me oversized shirts, trousers, whatever, jeans. Consume next product. You're perfect the way you are. Please open your wallet right now. And when you hear positivity marketing, ladies and gentlemen, close the wallet and leave. And memorize. Memorize very clearly who tried to sell you that fakery. And on to positivity coaches, ladies and gentlemen. They're selling you feel good for 7 to 8 days, or 3 days, or whatever. Is it better for you, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel good or if you can live good? When you're being activated with words, with movements in the group and the energy, and yes, it's tangible. Many of us have experienced positivity seminars. It has an effect. Yes, you feel good. Yeah. What changes in your life? Not really that much, especially once you're back home and it ebbs away. Because why? Because you've not yet established a routine. And you might, especially in our dopamine-inducing time, you can have dopamine all the time, just a click away. Look at how mobile games are set up on the cell phones. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. Flashy, success, success, success. And you're leaving the seminar. You feel deflated like 10 days later, at the latest. Next seminar. I want to recapture that energy again. Because you think it must come from the outside. And it works. It works with so many people. Be careful of positivity coaching. If there's no substance behind it, and with many, there's no substance behind it. Consume next product. And one thing I would like you to remember and to keep in mind when you attend a positivity seminar. You might be there, you ladies and gentlemen might be there for the motivation to actually seek out and receive help. Okay. Not everyone, by a long shot, that goes there as a client comes with the same mindset that you might be having. Because who's attracted to being told that they're amazing and that they're great? Narcissists. You will be surrounded by narcissists when you attend positivity seminars. And why is that such a magnet for them? The narcissists that attend positivity seminars, they only needed to pay money and pay with their time. What they did not have to invest is conditioning someone to tell them that they're amazing. The conditioning is built in with them paying and being there. And while you are there, possibly at a low point, possibly not engaging in toxic positivity, someone else is. And their system surrounds you with people who are fake and want to draw from you, while you are there to actually find a way, first of all, maybe to receive, or even better, build it from within yourself. So be very, very mindful, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to this positivity stuff, because it is a plight, I don't recall, you know what I mean. It comes with dangers. And last but not least, the conclusion of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. You have it in your hands to live in reality with healthy optimism and to leave the fantasy of exaggerated optimism right behind you. And one final question I would like you to ask yourself, in case you are among those, as I have been for a long time in my life, to engage in toxic positivity. What are you running from? What are you shielding yourself from to avoid looking at by engaging in toxic positivity? Because heroes and heroines, ladies and gentlemen, they don't run. We don't run. And I encourage you to take a good, long, healthy look and embrace all the emotions that come with it. The good, the bad, whatever powers you to move forward. Take a good look and act upon it. Be your own hero and be your own heroine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.